So I want to tell you why I needed rehab. There was no me quitting on my own and going cold turkey and figuring this all out on my own. That wasn't going to happen. You know, I never really officially tried, but I mean, I definitely would not have been successful at it. It's something, you know, having alcohol addiction with everyday drinking for years. And I was thinking that I was just gonna, you know, stop cold turkey and everything would work out on its own. That's not the case. I mean, for me, it was rehab. I had to go. There was no other option for me. Once I made that decision, I'm gonna get sober. No other option. I had to go. So when I walked into rehab, I was drunk. I don't even know what I blew, but it was high because they take your breath a lot. They take your blood alcohol as soon as you get in there and get you through the staging process or onboarding, whatever you want to call it. And I don't remember a whole lot about it because, I mean, I'm at the most depressed stage that I could have ever been in my entire life, and so anxiety ridden and just an ongoing panic attack because it's scary. I was getting ready to give up the one crutch that I had, and that one crutch, of course, was alcohol. It's the one thing that I needed. I always kept alcohol anywhere, you know, somewhere around me, because that was what I used to combat panic attacks, anxiety, etc. You know, and the shakes, you know, so I always had it. So, you know, I had to mentally put myself saying, okay, I'm going to give that crutch up so I can give this up for once and for all. And yeah, that first week was hell, but I needed it to happen because the emotions that I felt were, like I said, the most state of depression I've ever been in. You miss, you know, thinking about all the people you left behind, your kids, your family, your work, just but then of course, you know, your normal day-to-day life that once was of consumed in alcohol or drugs for some people. I mean, it's giving all of that up and making a change, and that's terrifying for anybody to go through. So just know this: if you're contemplating going to get help, whether it's rehab or something else, trust me, it's you're not the only person that's terrified to do it, and may have even been one that has backed out of it a few times. You know, you made the decision, woke up in the morning, nah, not today. I mean, that's normal. I did that so many times. But the time that I truly went, boy, it took. I went once and that's it. I knew that was enough for me. But again, it's what I needed. No way in hell I would have been able to do it without it. You know, it got me through that first week or that detox stage where, yeah, I don't even know. I can't even describe how I felt because it was terrible. It was the worst depression ever. And not having any of your loved ones beside you or family members to help you through it's, you know, tough, you know, depending on who your crutch was. So, but day 5, you know, going into week 6, boy, does it change. I mean, you start opening up. For me, that first week I didn't talk to nobody. I basically pouted the whole time, or I was depressed the whole time. It was, you know, not wanting to talk to anybody. You know, I remember there being a few people reaching out to me, asking me, you know, how I'm doing, you know, trying to be comforting because they went through that first week themselves. So they're, you know, trying to give me those words of encouragement. But all I cared about was keep going up to the nurse's station to try to figure out how I can get out of there. You know, send me to the ER. Let me do my detox in the ER. I did everything I could to try to get out of there because I was scared, and that's normal. You know, so you know, it's okay to have them fears, but every person, including myself, that I was at least in there with, I even got to watch, you know, when I was in it for 2 weeks, watch some of the newer people come in, and I was like, wow, that was me. That was me 2 weeks ago coming in. I you know, let me talk them through it, and I got to watch them get to that 4th, 5th, 6th day where they were, you know, starting to something clicks. Like, okay, you're thinking clear-headed. And it's, for some people like myself, it's the first time being sober 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row and counting. I mean, each day got better. There were no days that moving, from day one that got worse. Every day in rehab got better as the next day went on, because I was more clear-headed and I started getting some of those emotions back of the ones that I missed, laughing and being proud, respect for myself, starting to like myself again. I'm feeling all of those emotions happen as I'm sitting in there taking classes and reflecting in my room at night. It's a miracle when you see it happen to yourself firsthand, and then it's even better also when you get to see it happen to other people, that transformation that they make. So it was, again, the best move I made, the best decision. I stuck it out those 30 days. I mean, no doubt about it, when you hit to, going into week 4, you're already made it through 25 days. That thought crosses, you think you're fixed. Hey, I've been sober almost 25 days. I got this. But it was, I'm glad I stuck it out to 30. Everybody's different, but I'm glad I stuck it out to 30, even though by day 25, I was getting slightly annoyed. But again, I had some fun times in there and learned a lot. And, it's the safest way to go, in my opinion. Withdrawal symptoms can be terrible from alcohol. In fact, even deadly, as you know, that, seizures and everything like that. I fortunately don't recall. I don't think I had anything like that, but it was the biggest fear that I had. I remember them putting me in a room that had a camera in it so the nurses could watch over, because not because I had a history. I never even had the seizure, but that was my fear. That was my anxiety talking. So probably a safe route to do it. But so I say that because it's, it's nothing to mess around with. It's obviously something that you need to, you need to have medical support with you, because it can be very dangerous. But anyways, it's what I needed to do. I needed to go to rehab. It worked for me, and I have watched it already work for so many people. So again, it's tough. It's a battle. You've got to put yourself in the toughest mental spot you probably ever have in your life. You have to dig deeper of wanting this more than you've ever wanted anything in your life. If you could go into rehab and say that and tell yourself nothing's going to stop you, everything else you're putting behind you. You can't think about your kids. You can't think about your job. You can't think about this, that, or the other thing. You have to focus on one thing, and that is getting yourself clean. That time you're in there, that's it. That's your only assignment, your only task. If you could do that, you'll get through it. You'll get through that hell part of it, and you'll start seeing those emotions coming back, of the good emotions, of the feeling, and then you have that ground base now of where you can begin once you're backing on your own. So I'd love to hear from you. If you're struggling with it, trying to decide if you're going to make that decision, hearing what your experiences may be like or were like, or just any more questions, because I could write a novel on just the 30 days that I was in there. I mean, you see some crazy shit, and you talk to some real interesting people. I will say that, people from all walks of life, but everybody's in there for the most part with the same purpose. So again, for me, it worked because I needed to go. I wasn't forced to go. And other than that first week of wanting to give up, I stuck with it, and I knew what that outcome would be. So best of luck to you. Look forward to hearing how it goes for you.